Hello, hello. How are you? One second, let me check if I'm live already. Okay. Testing, testing. One, two, three. Looks like it's not going on live on Facebook again. Oh, wait, it is. Check, check. Right? Looks like I'm good. Okay, now, welcome back to Ask Jason Anything. Uh, yeah. How's your weekend so far? Okay, let's get in here. All right. Now, welcome back to Ask Jason Anything on Sunday night. So basically, what I do here is I go live on Sunday nights every Sunday to answer questions that I receive from my community, mainly on my YouTube channel. So if this is the first time you see me, welcome to my universe. My name is Jason. I'm a Meta Ads optimization strategist from Malaysia. So yeah, if you have any questions regarding meta advertising, digital marketing, so the first thing I would recommend you to do is please go to my YouTube channel. You can just go to YouTube and search for Jason Gan. And I posted over 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel. So chances are I probably have covered something similar to the challenges or the issue that you're facing right now. So all you need to do is just search for an answer. If you can find it, great. Move on and do whatever you need to do because we have a lot of things to deal with when it comes to meta advertising. But if you cannot find an answer, don't worry. All you need to do is just post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up on the following Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time, and I'll be answering your questions live on a live session like this. Okay, now let me take this up. So basically, this is called Ask Jason Anything About Facebook Ads. So yeah, if you are here watching me live, if you have any questions, even if you're watching the replay, any question, just type away, just post in the chat. And if you are here live, once I finish all the questions I have, I'll go back to the question that I received on the chat. Otherwise, like if you are watching this as a replay, post your question. I'll be answering it on the following Sunday. All right. I mean, just in case some of you may say that, hey, Jason, can I just work with you one on one? Or you probably have something that is more sensitive that you don't want to be shared to the public. Yeah, or you want to have a more, like detailed one-on-one session that we can go through anything that is concerning you, or you want me to analyze your campaign. You may scan this QR code, which it will take you to my Fiverr gig. All you need to do is just purchase the gig, and you are able to schedule a 30-minute one-on-one Zoom call with me. So yeah, share your screen. Everything will be recorded. Invite your team if you need to, so we can discuss anything that is related to Facebook advertising or meta advertising over the Zoom call. Okay. Now, just in case you are looking for a structured meta ads learning program to help yourself get started, as in like you want to start running ads yourself, you want a structured way to learn meta advertising, I definitely recommend Meta Ads Blueprint 2025. So this is the latest training that I put together. It's a 4.5 hour recorded training. And yeah, we cover everything you need to know, whether you are a new advertiser or you have been running ads for a while, but you still kind of like don't quite get certain things in Meta Ads Manager or whatsoever. This is definitely suitable for you. So yeah, we cover the latest tools and features that you need to know, especially those AI tools in Meta Ads Manager. That's the first thing I covered. And I also covered how do I design meta ad strategy for various businesses? So whether you are in e-commerce, whether you have an own website, e-commerce own website, or you are selling on marketplaces like Lazada, Shopee, that is covered. And if you are doing lead generation business, that's covered as well. So I share with you how do I design meta ad strategy for various businesses, various industries. And not just that, right? I also give you step-by-step walkthrough, as in how do I set up meta ads campaign based on the strategy that I designed. So everything you need to know with step-by-step walkthrough to really help you get started and start running ads on your own without needing any external help. So that's something that you're looking for, then that's something for you. Now, not just that, right? On top of that, I also shared the latest Meta Ads analytics method that I use. How do you analyze your campaign to see whether your campaign is doing good or not? Is there any other room for improvement? Is there anything else you can actually do to take your campaign to the next level? And even if your campaign is doing good, we talk about also optimization and scaling, which is like, let's say if you're spending $100 and you're making $1,000, fantastic, right? But spending $200 may not get you $2,000 in return. So you need to know how to scale correctly, meaningfully. And these are all the things that we cover in Meta Ads Blueprint 2025. So if that's something that you're looking for, scan this QR code and happy learning. Now, another one is, I'm sorry, just in case you say that, Jason, I've done learning, would you be able to just set it up, design a campaign for me and set it up for me? Yes, every month I take a handful of clients whereby we will work together. This is actually a 2 session of one-on-one Zoom call for 60 minutes. So it involves 2 calls, right? So the first call is, like you and I is gonna sit down, we're gonna go through your goals, as in like what are your KPIs to achieve, what are the advertising goals that you have, how long you have, and basically what is the budget there, and what is the return that you're looking for. And yeah, so we designed a strategy and we would talk about like how many creatives we need to set up for the top of funnel, how many creatives we need to create for the retargeting. So everything will be put together. And I will also give you recommendations on the ad creative design. I won't be doing it for you, but I will give you the direction. I'll give you examples to help your team understand what to develop. And I will also go through the landing page if you have, to make sure that we are optimizing everything before we launch the campaign. So after the first call, then you will go and prepare all the materials and everything. And on the second call, all right, you and I gonna come together and set up the campaign together. As in, I will set up the campaign with you, for you, bring your team, and everything will be recorded. So consider this is your internal, Meta Ads training for your business. So 2 sessions of calls, immediately you have an optimized Meta Ads strategy designed and developed and set up by me. Done. So yeah, so that's something that you're looking for. Scan this QR code and I look forward to work with you. Right. So let's go through. We don't have a lot of questions today, but I think we have some interesting topics that we want to discuss now. So let's get started with Zainora. So Zainora is asking for top of funnel sales campaign. What kind of event you should be choosing, landing page view or purchase? Well, in my opinion, I would definitely go for purchase, but we need to understand your situation. Now, first thing first, my question to you is, are you having a new e-commerce website? So when you have a new e-commerce website, and then my next question would be, have you been getting sales, like regularly in the past, let's say a month or so? So if you are a new e-commerce website and you have not been getting sales regularly in the past 1 month or 2, then the next question that I'll be asking you here is, are you selling something generic, like for example, clothing, fashion, furniture, like stationery, anything. That is common that a lot of people are selling. So if you are selling those, even though you are not having even though you have a new e-commerce website, I would recommend that you should start considering to, you should start with sales objective, because the idea here is we want to make sure that we are able to leverage on Meta's learning and algorithm or whatever at the back of it to help us find the best audience for our campaign. So yeah, so if you're selling something that is quite common, then definitely Meta has a lot of information about people who are likely to purchase or interested in the product that you are selling. So it's a lot easier for us to gain traction out of using the order. Even if you have a new website, sales objectives are still gonna work. But if you ask me, right, for whatever I do, I will always start with the toughest objective. Whether even for example, now if you have a niche product that you're selling quite difficult to sell, which is not a lot of people are buying or looking for it, I would still consider to start with sales, because here's the difference. When you optimize for sales, you're telling Meta that, look, I'm looking for people who are likely to purchase. But when you're optimizing for a landing page, you're telling Meta that I'm looking for people who are to visit my website, not necessarily looking for sales. So you get different quality of audiences, that's for sure. And we all know that the audiences for sales is definitely a lot higher. But having said that, we want to make sure that we are able to find the right people. Otherwise, when you are actually going into a sales campaign for a niche project and whatever, when Meta doesn't have a lot of data about people who are likely to buy, then you will have a longer, a more volatile learning phase, whereby, sometimes you get something, sometimes you don't, and the CPM fluctuation is high, CTR fluctuation is high. It's very difficult to enter a stable campaign. So that's what I would do. But generally, I would say go for sales. And if you can't get good results out of it, fine. Then we will scale back. But when I say you can't get good result, what do I mean? So the first thing first is we are definitely looking at the cost per result. Whether are you getting any sales and are you comfortable with the cost per result? If you're not, then we definitely need to look at other metrics such as your CTR, your CPM, to identify what really is the problem. If it's the ad creative problem, then we test it. But if it's overall everything CTR, CPM is good, but you're still not getting results, then we probably have to consider switching up to a different objective. Because another thing to consider here is if you switch up to landing page optimization, I mean, in that case, you probably should consider going for traffic. But anyway, if you switch up to landing page optimization, landing page view, generally your CPM is going to drop as compared to sales objective. I mean, it's technically or theoretically cheaper to reach people who are likely to visit your website as compared to people who are likely to purchase. So when you have lower CPM, same dollars, you're going to reach more people, because lower CPM. When you have the chance of reaching more people, then hopefully we are able to draw. I mean, the volume game is going to play off and we're going to get more people. Hopefully we are going to get more people who add to cart and eventually purchase. So because it takes time to train, especially if you have a new e-commerce website. So basically we need a little bit of push coming in from the top of funnel. But yeah, we need to observe. Basically, these are all the objectives. These are all the scenarios, I would say. Both objectives are valid, but these are all the scenarios that you need to consider whether to to go for sales objective right away or landing page view as a start. But having said that, my best recommendation, I wouldn't say advice, but my best recommendation for you would be just run ads, just launch it and see how it goes from there. Because we will not be able to know until we hit the road running, and the metrics is going to tell us everything. So I would say launch the campaign, let it run for a week at least, and then analyze it. So if you need help analyzing, then you can actually use this QR code to book a one-on-one Meta Ads audit by me. So you definitely need to run ads for at least a week, all right? And then after that, with all the data, we are able to, really draw meaningful information from your campaign. So you can scan this QR code, which will take you to my Fiverr gig to purchase a one-on-one Meta Ads audit. So we will do three things together. First, I'm going to build your Meta Ads dashboard, meaning we line up all the metrics that you need to analyze for your campaign, specifically for your business. And now we're going to save it in your ads manager so that you can always come back to it when you need to. And then the second thing is I will be analyzing the campaign for you with you. So as I analyze, I will tell you, why is this important? What's the benchmark of this and stuff? And then the third thing is as we analyze, we draw hypotheses and important information. We are able to build a plan. As in, I'll be able to tell you that, look, these are the three things you should consider doing. Do this first. And if it works, then good. If it doesn't, then let's move to the next option and stuff like that. So yeah, we will have a plan. So definitely you will need to have at least 1 week data before we go into this. But this is actually the best way for you to really start getting meaningful insights about your campaign and learn how to analyze and optimize Meta Ads campaign yourself. So yeah, scan this QR code and I look forward to work with you. Now, the next question that I get is coming from Erica. So Erica is posting this video on Erica is posting this question on my video about privacy policy. So basically, if you're running lead gen ads, you need to have a privacy policy link. But if you do not have a website, this is quite impossible. So the workaround that I've been using for the past many years has been Google Docs. You can actually create a Google Doc containing all your privacy policy, and then you can use that link to put in your lead form, and Meta will accept it as your privacy policy. So some people actually use Google Docs. Some people use, Microsoft, because you also have a link for that. Or some people just upload a PDF on Dropbox or something like that. That would work as well. But Erica is saying, you just try it, and it appears Meta has terminated the ability to do so. I actually just tried myself as well, Erica. It actually still works. So you probably want to try again, If you cannot use Google Doc, then you probably want to consider using either it's like PDF or something, because definitely a lot of people don't have a website and they are still running ads with running lead gen ads with like links that points to their privacy policy everywhere over the internet. I think this still work. You should consider testing it again, and all the best with that. Okay. Now, thanks, Erica, for popping by. So, yes, this is a question that I get a lot. So, how do we increase Facebook ads ROI? So, here's the thing. Let's say if you've been running ads for a while and you're getting good ROAS, as in you are happy with the results, and the cost per result is also something that you're quite happy with. So, how do we increase Facebook ads ROI without adding budget? So, that's the key. So, a few things we would do. I call this the optimization. So the first thing first is when you have a good campaign, we dive into your campaign and we look for a few metrics. So the first metric we will look for is CTR. CTR all stands for the percentage of people who click on anything on the ad. And CTR link click stands for percentage of people who click on your call to action button. So CTR all, the benchmark is 2%. CTR link click, the benchmark is 1%. So if you are getting good results, good ROAS, you're happy with everything, yet your CTR is at the lower side. Say, for example, your CTR link click is at maybe 0.4, right? That means you should consider testing new creative. See, here's the thing. You don't need to increase budget. In fact, most of the time when you're getting good result, increasing budget may not help you in getting better result or more ROAS and something like that, because the whole structure itself, if it's not optimized, scaling is actually a very dangerous thing to do. So that's why we do optimization first, right? So first thing first, look into your CTR, because that indicates whether your campaign on your ad, your advertisement, your ad creative is working or not. So let's say if you have 0.4 CTR link click and your ROAS is 4, oh my God, that's awesome. Okay, if you imagine just if you're able to test new creative and bump your CTR from 0.4 to 0.6, that is already a 50% increment in terms of CTR. Meaning with the same amount that you are spending, you are getting potentially 50% more clicks. Do you think you can potentially get 50% more add to cart, 50% more initial checkout, and hopefully 50% more sales? Even if it doesn't play off as equal quantum, the ability to actually get more clicks is already a win. Okay, so that's really something that you want to consider testing. So yeah, CTR. Now the second thing is, like you should also look into your CPM. Now, here's the thing. If you're getting good result, then because here CPM is, it's really something that we would actually use to test and monitor certain things. Like CPM is cost per thousand impression is really a metric that we have no control whatsoever. Meaning, when you are entering a market that has more competition, that means your CPM is going to be higher because a lot more competitors are bidding for the same audience. So what we would do is we will monitor the CPM. So here's the thing. If you're targeting a very niche audience, you're getting good result. The next thing you want to consider is you probably want to consider switching it up to an Advantage Plus campaign, because especially if your website has been getting consistent sales for a while and you have been getting good result from your ads, that means that Meta has got enough data, or they have enough information about your audience. And if you switch up to a Advantage Plus sales campaign, that might push your CPM to go lower. Because effectively, when your CPM goes lower, with the same amount spent, you're going to reach more people. So when you reach more people, and with the whatever machine learning that AI has been accumulating on your website, and they are matching to find you better audience and all that, that can definitely help you get better results. So that's why we would also look into the possibility of switching into ASC and hopefully to get better CPM. So that's the second thing. You see, whatever we are doing here is we are trying to, optimize. We call it growth hacking or whatsoever, right? So these are on-ad optimization. Then we also can talk about off-ad optimization, which means after a person click on your ad, going to your website, what are the actions? What's the conversion from one step to another? Say, for example, if you have got 100 people landing on your website, but only 10 of them added to cart, that means, well, maybe the landing itself is not really doing fantastic. So if you're able to improve the landing and hopefully, or land to a different destination, and if you're able to convert, let's say, increase the conversion from 10% to 20%, that's a very meaningful improvement. So everything can be optimized in the ads campaign. On-ad optimization and off-ad optimization. So these are few things that I can share with you about increasing Facebook ads ROI without increasing budget. And you can definitely do this on your own campaign. But if you do not know how, I will recommend that you scan this QR code and purchase a one-on-one Meta Ads audit by me. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into your campaign and we're going to do three things together. First thing is I'm going to build a Meta Ads dashboard for your business. As in every campaign or every business has different metrics to track. So I will build all these metrics for you in your ads manager and arrange them in sequence and save it in your ads manager so that you can always come back to it. And after that, the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to analyze the campaign for you with you. All right. So we're going to analyze the numbers together and all that. Right. So as I do it, I will also share with you how to do that. So as we analyze the campaign, we will be able to draw important information about the campaign performance and all, and we are able to build a plan. So I'm going to give you steps like, first let's do this, then do this, then followed by this if it doesn't work and stuff like that. So this is actually the most important thing that you have to learn as a meta advertiser. So yeah, we shouldn't be just running ads based on gut feeling. We need to learn how to analyze, how to make decision based on numbers and metrics. Okay, so if that's something that you're looking for, then scan this QR code, and I look forward to work with you. Okay, now since we have a bit of time, I want to quickly cover this question because I also get a lot of questions from my community about how do we actually build a Facebook ad strategy for small budget. Now, I do not know how small is small, basically, but Facebook ads for small budget is definitely possible. Take it from me, okay? I heard from a lot of people saying that they actually learned from some experts out there saying you probably need to start with at least $50 per day or $100 per day in order to start getting meaningful conversion. But here's what I think. If you are not able to get results with 10, what makes you think that you can get results with 100? Just because you spend 100 and reach more people, you think the number game was going to play off? If you don't have a foundation that is done right, it's just going to make you more stressful, and it probably will burn you money. So I would say if you want to start, I would say if you can, start with a $5 or $10 a day will be a very meaningful start. But the lowest you need actually to start running ads on Facebook is actually $1 a day. But of course, $1 a day is going to be a little bit low. So I would say if you can, start with a $3 to $5 a day. I think that's really something that we can manage. All right. So if you have a $3 to $5, let's say $5, for example, then what we're going to do here is I would recommend that we spend 80% of the budget at the top of funnel, which is 80% is $4. All right. When I say dollars, means US dollar. So if you spend $4 at the top of funnel, you can actually have 4 different ads running already, because you can actually build single ad sets with 4 different creatives. And you make sure you apply exclusion on all of them. Top level exclusion. When I say top level exclusion, means you want to make sure that people who have clicked on any of the ads to be excluded from seeing the same ad, because a group of 4 ads, right? 4 ad creative single ad sets. And you want to make sure that you don't want to repeat showing this ad to the same people. So yeah, we do that exclusion. And for the matter of testing, you should actually consider to start with broad. I mean, of course, if your product or service is really niche, then you can actually apply detailed targeting. But as a start, I would still recommend to go broad, because when you go broad means you're targeting everyone. Of course, you do your location targeting, age targeting and stuff, and even gender targeting. And when you go broad, you allow Meta to test more different people without any restrictions. So that's really something that's going to help your CPM to go lower. So when your CPM gets lower, you're able to reach more people. So the top of funnel, the whole idea here is for top of funnel campaign is we want to use that to bring in as many people as possible into our funnel. So we need to watch for lower CPM. Of course, we need to look for CTR and other metrics as well. So yeah, that's for the top of funnel. And we will spend 20% of the budget, which is about $1, okay, for retargeting. So when I say retargeting, it really depends on what you sell. I mean, it may not be necessary for lead generation, but if you are in e-commerce, then the retargeting is going to pay off big time if you do it right. So spend 20% on the retargeting, and you make sure that you target the right people and for the right duration. So usually for e-commerce retargeting, we always go for if you're starting with a very small budget, I would consider to start with maybe 14 days to 15 days retargeting as a start. So, I mean, when I do 14 to 15 days, that means we will be able to accumulate a little bit more audience because the budget is small. So we want to make sure that we are able to get more people. So When it comes to retargeting, if you don't have enough website visitors, you should also consider top level retargeting, meaning people who have engaged with you on Facebook and Instagram in the last 14 to 15 days should be included. And of course, you exclude people who have converted. So that's the thing. So when it comes to retargeting, you should also consider having a little bit of different ads in the whole ad set, the same ad set, different ads. And consider throwing in your testimonial, use case videos and stuff like that, something that is a little bit more in-depth to help you convince the audience that have actually clicked on your top of funnel and they are still considering and stuff like that. So that allows you to have a meaningful Facebook ad strategy, and we even with a small budget over there. So start there, run it for a week, and then after that we analyze and see how we go from there. So basically that's the best way to start. So yeah, if you really need that, just go for it. And once you have run this for a week, all you need to do is just to have a week data, then you always can come back to this. Let's analyze the campaign together, because we can imagine a thousand things, but seriously, the best way to prove anything is to start running it. So once you have a 1 week data, we are able to meet and we are able to really analyze the campaign and really build a plan. So we're going to do 3 things together in this Meta Ads one-on-one ads review. So this is the paid gig. Scan this QR code, it will take you to my Fiverr. And so the first thing I'm going to build a Meta Ads metric dashboard for your business, which is everything. I mean, every business has got different metrics to track, right? So we would have a metrics lineup for your business saved in your ads manager, so that the next time you can always go back to it. And then I will analyze the campaign for you. And as I analyze, I will share with you how to interpret the data and stuff like that, so that you are able to do it in the future. And last but not least, the third thing is I'm going to build a plan. As in, I'm going to tell you that let's test the first thing first. Let's tweak the ad creative. Then if it works after a week, then, if it doesn't, then we follow by the second thing and third, stuff like that. So we will have a plan to take a campaign to the next level. So yeah, run ads with that small budget, whatever, go ahead and let's come back for ad review whenever you are ready. All right. So yes, that wraps our questions. Yeah, just 1 week. We do this every week, once a week for 30 minutes. And I like this session. This is something that I've been doing for 197 weeks now. I mean, this is episode 197 or 98. I don't really remember. But imagine we are actually closing into 200 episodes. Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. So yeah, remember, if you have any questions, okay, go to my YouTube channel to search for it. If you can't find anything, just post a question as a comment, and then come back on the following Sunday to listen to my reply. All right. Thank you so much for who's watching. Have an awesome week ahead. I'll see you next week. Good night. Bye.